You're watching The Final Takeaway. Welcome back to another one of our podcast editions. We welcome all of you from wherever you're tuning in from today. Like, share, subscribe, you know the usual asks, but you're not obligated to do any of that. Instead, you can sit back, relax, and soak up everything we're about to unpack from start to finish. Let's get to it. Last week, we told you that the We Invest in Nationhood party, WIN, led by sanctioned businessman Azruddin Mohamed, appeared to have turned its back on the ANUG and United Guyana party, ANUG, or the ANUG, after 0 ANUG representatives appeared on WIN's list of parliamentarians. WIN secured just over 100,000 votes at the September 1 general and regional elections. This huge win, no pun intended, catapulted the party into second place next to the People's Progressive Party Civic, which won the elections. Not only that, WIN would come to replace the long-standing opposition, the PNCR, the APNU, the AFC, that entire body, and is now Guyana's main opposition force. Based on the votes, WIN secured 16 parliamentary seats, two of which we're told were to be set aside for 2 listed individuals from ANUG. This promise, we understand, is contained in a clause in an agreement signed with ANUG. WIN's alleged promise to award 2 seats was cemented in the agreement, which was signed between the leader of ANUG, Dr. Mark France, and Azruddin Mohamed back in June 2025. This was the date the parties formally formed some sort of alliance, which at the time was pretty much sold to the public as a coalition. Fast forward to this week. A source within ANUG confirmed that according to their knowledge, WIN agreed to allocate at least 2 seats of the total seats won by its party. The agreement guaranteed ANUG's representation, the source further emphasized. Although Dr. France himself has so far remained quiet and supportive, at least one ex-member of ANUG, Althea King, lashed out at WIN last week on social media. Yeah, she sure did, by essentially saying that Mohamed betrayed ANUG after France placed his trust in Mohamed. King essentially said ANUG feels used and tossed aside after WIN won the opposition, and is now treating France's party as if it no longer has any use for it. Now this week, we're bringing you an update to tell you the other side of the story from WIN's perspective. Based on reports, WIN's leader, Azruddin Mohamed, has denied the allegations. Mohamed is now hitting us with semantics, saying that while the 2 parties signed an agreement to join forces, it was not a coalition. Hello? Sounds familiar? This is just a sidebar, guys. A little humor before we continue. Do you recall a few months before the elections when GCOM rejected WIN's party's symbol because it was that of a jaguar, according to GCOM? Then WIN hit back, saying, "Oh, it's not a jaguar, it's a leopard." Don't be surprised to learn that GCOM was just like, okay, whatever, and simply approved the party's symbol without doing any further research. Heck, it could have been a cheetah for all you know. Can you tell the difference between a leopard and a jaguar? Can you tell the difference between a leopard, a jaguar, and a cheetah in terms of their coding, their spots and stripes? Okay. Anywho's, like I said, I just wanted to add a little humor to this situation, but it's something very serious, so we're getting back to it. The point is, we're told ANUG insists that there was an agreement to give them at least 2 parliamentary seats. And not just any seats, not just any 2 seats, not just any old seats, 2 proper seats, which essentially represents their portion of the power sharing and decision making in Parliament. Based on the official list published by a top WIN official just over a week ago, not one single ANUG member's name appeared on the list. Now, WIN is backpedaling, and one could say attempting to gaslight ANUG and anyone else who can't see through the antics. How so? Well, WIN is saying we joined forces But it wasn't a coalition. It was not a coalition. Guys, it was not a coalition. You heard what Win said, okay? An ANUG representative who wants to remain anonymous calls it BS. Here's the deal. ANUG wants its cut of the pie, but Win wants to take it all. Winner takes it all. Listen, I cannot sing to save my life, so I'm just going to keep my day job, okay? But let's get back to this situation again. Again, we want to add some humor, okay? It is serious. We're not making light of it, but hey, who wants to be stuck up all the time? All in all, Mohamed has debunked the claims that are circulating, stating that his party handpicked ANUG's Region 4 representative Nandranie Singh to represent ANUG's interest in parliament, but apparently that caused a bigger stir. According to a source within the ANUG party, this decision by WIN to select Singh is a slap in the face. The source further criticized the choice of Singh, saying she was never among the top nominees listed on the list ANUG submitted to WIN. According to the insider, WIN had initially promised consultations on candidate selection. But what did WIN go ahead and do? It made a unilateral decision when it chose Singh. Damn, you tell me this is what the situation has been reduced to? I want to think better of the officials over at WIN. What do you think? Should we give WIN the benefit of the doubt? Or do you believe Mohamed and his party are capable of this accusation? Furthermore, according to WIN, there was no formal allocation of parliamentary seats conversation with ANUG. WIN is using this ground as its argument to defend its decision about Nandranie Singh. For Mohamed, this is his way, his party's way of showing ANUG its appreciation. Guys, the entire situation seems to have gone sideways from the get-go and could have been handled more professionally. It appears as if WIN caved to the pressure and calls for accountability after our channel, along with other media outlets and bold advocates of ANUG, called out WIN on the matter. Perhaps if no one said anything or called WIN out, it would have been business as usual and ANUG would have been iced out forever. Here's another thing. A key question still haunts the minds of some onlookers and critics. Why has WIN sidelined ANUG's leader, Dr. France? We're told France was the most instrumental individual helping to get ANUG to forge an alliance or a coalition, whatever it was, with WIN. Are we supposed to glean from all of this that WIN thought its only proper choice was Singh, a representative whose name we're being told didn't even feature on ANUG's proposed list of persons to occupy parliamentary seats? We want to know the rationale behind WIN's decision, if this is what actually happened, and if ANUG's side of the story is correct. Was there a falling out we don't know about? Or was France and his party simply just a means to an end? As it is often said in ruthless political philosophy, the end justifies the means. I'll tell you this, it looks like WIN still owes ANUG one more seat, allegedly. Meanwhile, a cross-section of social media commenters and political critics say WIN needs to show integrity and hold its end of the bargain. WIN and ANUG signed an agreement back in June 2025. If it's binding and enforceable under the law, we could see this being hashed out in civil court. After all, a deal is a deal. And if ANUG needs to hold Azruddin Mohamed accountable, then so shall it be. WIN may argue differently, but it's obvious that Mohamed needed the boost that ANUG and Dr. France's party could have provided. That's the only reason why he brought them on board. WIN is a new party, and ANUG has been around. So Mohamed must have thought he could ride on ANUG's influence. Go figure. Classic bait and switch. Do you think? It is hoped that Mohamed and his party will demonstrate a greater level of integrity and allot the outstanding seat ANUG says is owed to the party based on the agreement. Well, there you have it, guys. What are your views on this matter? We can't wait to hear from you in the comments section. For now, stay tuned for what's coming up next.